Good afternoon, everybody. So this statement, I'm sure we all will relate to it. No one is safe until everyone is safe. This realization, I think, has come to most of the people in the country today. Now, if you look at a study that was published by BCG yesterday, what it said is two important points I want to quote here to get this conversation going. One is the willingness to vaccinate has gone up tremendously in the month of May compared to what was in March. Another point is 63% of the people in the rural towns of India are struggling to get registration in CoWIN, maybe what the issues could be. Now, I like to bring in 5 suggestions in strengthening the CoWIN, I won't use the word app, the platform, towards the universal vaccination. To start with, the first one is literacy is the problem in some case. The language we already addressed. There are people who may not be even able to read, even if it is written in the local language. Is there a possibility to bring in a voice command button close to every field? There are only 3-4 fields, and that'll read out that question. Is it the name, gender, year of birth? And then another button next to it for you to record. People are so used to sending voice messages in WhatsApp. Record it, and the technology has reached a level today that it can auto-convert into text. If not, you can have a central team to look at. We have the BPO services in the country to convert and type it in and get the thing going. Now, what it'll do is it actually transfers the burden from a massive rural network into a central focused center, a BPO, and this can increase the access. Moving on, next one I like to bring to attention is the SMS bot, the mass awareness campaign. During the demonetization, MeitY got a special approval from TRAI to get a number 14444, which was a two-way SMS channel. It did wonders at the time to educate people on BEAM. So that infrastructure that was available at that time, if it can be reactivated, you can get into an SMS chatbot, which will have an intelligence behind the scene. So this will allow mass education campaigns and awareness programs. At the same time, some call to action. People can do a booking through a SMS chatbot, because I'm assuming that there is a population out there who may not have access to smartphones. Moving on, I'd like to introduce a thinking concept here on one-click vaccination. The thinking is, today, the level of maturity the CoWIN platform has reached today, it's amazing. One of the best architectures we can always commend, the scalability, the design. It has evolved to this point in a very fast time. If you look at it, the building blocks. One is the server component of that. Then is the API part of it. And the third one is the front end or what you and me will connect to, which is the app and the web page. If you can reimagine this CoWIN platform without a front end, what would it look like? Now, think about it. In India, a large population of people have Jan Dhan Yojana bank accounts. If the whole starting point is just one touch in that bank account, either through an SMS banking which they will give, or through a voice call to IVR, or even going to the branch and saying, I want to get vaccinated. That one click, what it'll do, it will give the banking system has the information about the customer. That's all the information today CoWIN is asking for getting anybody registered. It gets into CoWIN App, and then CoWIN App has got the intelligence to figure out where is the vaccine available in the locality of the person who has requested for the vaccine. Instead of they booking a slot, how would it be if the system tells you have been allocated a vaccine slot on so-and-so place in the government vaccination center at this locality on so-and-so date at so-and-so time. And if we activate our 144 number, which is a two-way SMS chat, you can even request the person that can you accept this slot in 24 hours time. It's a nudge, and also say this within this 24 hours, if you accept it, it is a free vaccine. Now it's a motivation to say I need to grab my slot. Now if that happens, the person goes into the vaccination center in the government vaccination center, produce the ID proof that is there when you open the bank account. Verify that and then execute the vaccine or administer the vaccine. This information goes into the DigiLocker that system is already in place. CoWIN is interfaced to DigiLocker. And what is more important is the employer network need to know, as the example was taken for Zomato, people need to know whom I'm going to employ, are they vaccinated or not. Now, this is when the vaccine is provided free from a government vaccination center. There could be cases where the request may come from a locality where there is no government vaccination centers, but there is a private vaccination available there. Now, this is where the Lok Kalyan scheme becomes quite interesting. Now, I'm talking everything that is available in the government's Digital India initiative. Now, you can say that if the CoWIN app understands that this person's vaccination has to be done in a private facility, then use the DBT infrastructure of the country, debit the Lok Kalyan scheme, and through the UPI infrastructure, move some 780 rupees into the beneficiary's bank account. Now, we can put a hold functionality on the money. This hold functionality, NPCI has developed for the FASTag system. So that means we have that infrastructure in the country. Now, when the person goes to the private vaccination center, this time the CoWIN app knows that this has been administered by so-and-so private hospital. It can debit the beneficiary's account and credit the private hospital. So if you think about it, all that I've done is one click in my bank account to say, I want to get vaccinated. This wouldn't have been possible a few months back, but now with the platform availability and the sophistication that has come with the API, this could be a possibility. Now moving on to the fourth suggestion, how feasible will it be to create a one option in CoWIN, the front-end app, for the corporates to create a vaccination camp as an option? It could be a health and vaccination camp because there could be people looking for some post-COVID support. If that is possible, and if that type of spend the corporates are ready to do, if it can be considered as a CSR spend in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, there is a good possibility that corporates will come forward and put up lot many camps out there, and this will increase the reach over there. Coming to the fifth suggestion, we have done it in different ways. Can we bring another set of people who are the vaccine warriors? Set of people who are otherwise also out there in the community doing good work. Asha workers, Anganwadi workers, postmen, LIC agents, volunteers of NGOs and various trust hospitals that work in the grassroots level. Can we bring in an incentivization under the Lok Kalyan scheme? So I was talking to a few people, it's something around 2 to 3 rupees is what it is to get somebody, to handhold someone to go through this vaccination. If you don't get into that one click possibility, get the person vaccinated. The platform knows who got vaccinated anyway. Then once the person completes the second dose of vaccination, use the DBT infrastructure of the country and then pay that equivalent amount to that person's bank account. It may become a livelihood to people who are ready to do their extra work in localities. You can even plan it in such a way, because there's great, as it was discussed before, there is great information available as dashboards. If you see that the vaccination is not happening in one particular locality, you can then bring the vaccine warriors into that part. So it need not be universal. But these are the 5 suggestions. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to bring the thoughts into this conversation.